as I was thinking, well, who would make a really great spiritual entrepreneur? Who would transition very well from their current line of work into their own business, either as a side hustle or as a full-time gig, right? And of course, when you're starting a business, you don't expect to immediately stop your full-time job. You normally will have to build the business, put it in order, and then ease yourself out of your part-time job and then go into your full-time job. Unless, of course, you're like me, in which case you just do everything just direct, okay? I did not go the kind of transitional way. I decided I wanted the business, and everything changed around me, and I found myself in my business much more quickly than I thought I was going to be. So, like, everything happened for me in probably a 4 to 5, maybe 6 months at the most, depending on how you do it, but it really was about 4 months, and everything had changed, and, I'd already sold my original business, and I was on to the next thing, and that was a 4-month turnaround, and that was pretty phenomenal. But that's how you know spirit. That's how you know spirit is working for you, you know? Because because all of a sudden everything is there and available for you, and your job is just to say, "Yes, just do it. I'm gonna just do this, and I'm not gonna think about it." Okay? So here's the first category of people who would do really well in a healing or a spiritual business, whether it's healing or some other modality. And we'll talk about those other modalities later. If you have any questions, of course, you can ask them in the comments. But the first category are people who are already working or who are already certified as healing and wellness professionals. So, for example, if you are a yoga teacher, if you're a Reiki practitioner or a Reiki master, if you are a yoni steam facilitator, right? If you do theta healing, quantum healing, you do chakra healing, sound healing, if you're an acupuncturist or an herbalist, or you're doing some kind of traditional Chinese medicine, even if you're a chiropractor or a naturopathic doctor, moving into the realm of spiritual entrepreneur or spiritual business makes a lot of sense. So that's the first category that I've put together. Now, it's really easy to see how someone who's a Reiki practitioner or a yoni steam facilitator would want to have a spiritual business. The thing that I want to just kind of throw out there right now is that, having a certification is great, but if you are not practicing every day on someone, at least, 2 or 3 people, what good is that certification if you're not actually helping anyone, right? So, getting the certification is really good, but you also have to build the business. And what the build business does is it makes it so that you have a steady uh, flow of clients and customers and followers who are interested in what you do. They're paying attention and they are receiving services from you. So, making sure you got your certification in whatever it is that you want to offer is great, but also understand that you do need to learn how to actually build the business as well. Spiritual Business Boot Camp is there to help you do that. Okay. It is going to be so fun. Rebecca, if you have any testimonials from our Spiritual Business Boot Camp or our certification boot camp, or even just from the page, that would be great if you would drop those in the comments here so that people can understand how much fun it is and really how stimulating and inspiring it is for these to do this boot camp. Okay. So let's look at the second category. I've got a few categories here, so I better keep moving. Um, so if you're someone who works in the healthcare or therapeutic industries, so for example, if you're a nurse, a social worker, a therapist, or a counselor, uh, if you're a physical therapist, PT, an occupational therapist, a psychiatrist, even a nurse practitioner, a medical assistant, or some kind of a medical industry technician, um, it would be such a beautiful shift for you to start your own spiritual business. Now, of course, this is only going to be true if you're someone who has a desire or you are attracted to spirituality. I'm talking to people who are attracted to spirituality, which is, if you're watching this, it's because you're attracted to spirituality. It's because you feel called to be of service. You might have, some healing stones in your pockets, or you might carry around some tarot cards, or you've got a bottle of essential oils, or you have a sage smudge stick in your car. You're like, when I get off from work, ooh, I smudge. That was me all the time. Yes. Okay. Because I was working in a place where, there were a lot of people, and my job was to help them release their tension, to release their baggage, their pain. And, being an empath, I'd pick up on that pain. So, yes, I would smudge myself, go home, take a salt bath. I had a clearing bowl with salt and stones in it. So, yes, there were all sorts of things that I had to do to kind of like get myself clear of everybody else's energy and back into my own thing. Now, if you're a nurse or a social worker or anybody that I've just listed, it is really, really natural for you. You are a natural helper, which is why you went into the industry that you went into. Okay. So it makes perfectly good sense that if you're going to start your own business, you're going to start it off in that realm where you are naturally um, inclined, right? So you've got lots of gifts already. You are, if you're in any of these industries or in any of these positions that I've just mentioned, you are already accustomed to helping people. You're accustomed to listening. You're accustomed to understanding people who are in pain. So going into some kind of a spiritual business, you are already probably naturally empathic, and you probably already have some good coping skills, because we know that nurses, nurse practitioners, therapists, counselors, social workers, oh my God, you all have seen some really gnarly situations and you've stood strong. So, yes, you have a lot of qualifications naturally and already that will make you a good business owner. Now, of course, you need to learn how to run your business. You need to figure out what you're going to offer, how you're going to offer it. That's what spiritual life coach boot, I'm sorry, it's not life coach. This is spiritual business boot camp. Okay, this is for people who are not necessarily interested in becoming a coach. It could be if you want to become a coach, but we're not focusing it that narrowly this time. We are talking to people who just want to have a spiritual business. So you could be a jewelry maker, an artist, and I've got a few different categories that I'm going to go into and talk about that a little bit more, okay? So, please go ahead and yeah, thank you. And I see Zia has joined us. Hey, Zia, it's always good to see you, darling. And she says, I'm terrified of burnout. Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about why that terrifies you, Zia. I'm just curious about your particular reasons, because we all have different reasons, and I want to know where you're coming from with that statement. Now, right. Next, the next category. If you are someone who is currently working in education or development of some sort, so if you are a teacher or an educator, um, if you are a life coach already, or you're some kind of a spiritual coach or a mentor, if you are a meditation or a mindfulness teacher, if you're someone who has the ability to help someone with their development, moving into the realm of spiritual business can be quite rewarding. So maybe you're wondering why I'm emphasizing the spiritual business as opposed to a different type of business, just like, just general entrepreneurship. Well, as a spiritual business owner, I personally, and I'm assuming that this is true for a lot of people, and actually I know it's true for a lot of people because a lot of my friends who are spiritual business owners were all kind of saying the same thing. We didn't come into our particular businesses for profit. We came first for passion. We came first for service. We came because we care. We tend to be very heart oriented. And so that was the thing that led us to starting our businesses. And yes, we do need profit. We do care about profit, but our first concern is about being of service and following our heart. So I say a spiritual business or a divine business is one that is heart led and profit follows the heart rather than profit driving the business, which is, there's nothing wrong with profit driving a business. It's just that for us, it's spirit or the heart that drives business. And we want to figure out what's going on with our own hearts, and then we want to build our business to support that. So that's what I mean by spiritual business or spiritual entrepreneur or heart-centered entrepreneur or something like that. Okay? All right. Now, if you're someone who works in the creative or artistic field, so for example, and this is so exciting for me, if you are an interior designer or you do feng shui, but also if you're a graphic designer or you're even a branding expert, you're a writer, you're a content creator, you're an artist, musician, even if you're a chef, okay? Can you create a spiritual business? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because your spiritual business you can bring spirituality into your business in any way that you want. For me, I love being a spiritual life coach, but for sure, I have gone to interior design school and studied interior design. And my big step is going to be to create interior spaces based on spiritual principles. And a lot of that is connected to feng shui. So if you know what feng shui is, that is please forgive me if I'm wrong or if I make any mistakes around this, but this is an ancient Chinese practice of bringing in elements from spiritual or energetic elements into your home, placing them in strategic positions so that it creates a powerful, productive, successful, healthy environment in your home. So for example, look, I just love this stuff, but and it is so sophisticated and so accurate and so powerful. But for example, with feng shui, depending on who you are, meaning like what your birthday is, what your gua number is, you um you might be someone who has good luck if you sleep with your head in the west. Okay, so you'd want your head in the west and your feet in the east. All right. that might be beneficial for you. Whereas if you slept with your head in the northwest and your feet in the southeast, that actually might be detrimental for you. So knowing that in feng shui, you would want to turn your bed so that your head and your feet are in a beneficial direction. Okay. I live in Paris and we got streets on angles. Out we've got like some of our homes, we've got like octagonal rooms. I don't know. It's not like more like hexagonal rooms where you got like instead of four walls, you got five, and you're like, how do we get a fifth wall in here? Like you got to be figuring out stuff. So my point is that, you know, understanding this stuff and helping people design their spaces around this is so fun. Okay, so fun, so exciting, and such a great opportunity if that's your thing to create a spiritual business. Okay, so again, you know, I put this under the category of creative and artistic fields. I also, keeping in mind, I put in there also writers, content creators, artists, musicians. So a few of the people in my program are actually artists, like who paint, and musicians. So they are working on building a spiritual business that helps them integrate their music along with their poetry and along with their healing skills, their coaching skills, all those kinds of things, right? And a lot of the people in my program are amazing cooks. So they're working on, you know, creating their spiritual business and how to bring, you know, that spirituality to the foods that they prepare, et cetera, et cetera. It's really quite beautiful. So let's see. Oh, hey, Leanna, it's so good to see you. And hold on, I'm still waiting to hear back from Zia. Maybe Zia had to hop off again. Zia, if you're going to tell me how you are, why you're afraid of burnout, like tell me a little bit about that. Um, because look, as a spiritual business owner, I've never burned out. I've gotten tired from overworking, but that would be whether I was a spiritual entrepreneur or whether I work on a job. If you're a workaholic, you're a workaholic. If you don't know how to rest and take care of yourself, that's you just not knowing how to rest and take care of yourself. That has nothing to do with um that has nothing to do with your you know, owning your own business. So I want to make sure I give you a good answer. That's why I'm asking you for some feedback on that. And yeah, Leanna, I'm so glad that you've made it live. This doesn't always happen. You catch the replays very often, but I'm glad that you're available live today. All right. And I better get to wrapping up because I've only got 8 more minutes left. All right. So, look, if you are someone who is already a digital content and marketing creator or influencer, moving this into a spiritual business can also um, work for you. So, you know, as a podcaster, as a content creator, whatever you're doing, if you start to gear your creations toward spirituality and you provide insights about particular spiritual issues and you provide some really good insights for how to heal or correct those issues, then you have moved yourself into the realm of you've moved yourself into the realm of being a spiritual entrepreneur. You know, I mean, even there's so much fun and juicy stuff to play with around spirituality. The thing that just popped into my mind, okay, herbs, stones, you know, like herbs, rosemary, mint, how to use those to heal, okay? And the energetics behind those, so powerful. And then I started thinking about essential oils, right? Becoming an aromatherapist or including aromatherapy in your in your practice. And then, of course, the healing stones. And I just pictured like a beautiful aquamarine and some rose quartz and an amethyst geode, and understanding those frequencies and incorporating that knowledge into what you're already creating. There's so much wonderful opportunity there. All right, let's get into the next category, which I put down as entrepreneurship and business development. So, some of you all are already in events, like in event planning, your business coaches, and you want to start kind of getting into the spiritual realm. So, as an event planner, you can start helping people plan retreats, creating some kind of a template that that coaches like me can follow, or however it is that you want to do it. If you are someone who wants to support spiritual people on their spiritual retreats, how fun, how exciting, right? There's also the aspect of environmental activists. I really love this because, environmental activists who also like they understand the science behind our ecosystem, but then they also understand the spirit of our ecosystem. That to me is incredibly hot. That is such a turn on, like just for learning and being creative. I want to attend those retreats, the retreats of the person who knows the science and the woo woo. Absolutely 100%. So that's why Bruce Lipton um, gets so much attention. Greg Braden as well. These guys are real scientists, and they're like, yeah, there's something more to life than just, science and atoms. There is life force energy, and they are also studying that. So I find it to be really fascinating, really beautiful. All right, the next category. Oh, and also, I wanted to also kind of give a shout out to those of you who are doing multi-level marketing. Now, keep in mind, like, first of all, I've done multi-level marketing. I've done well with it. I loved it. Now, there are people who are doing it and maybe want to start integrating some spirituality with that. There are ways that you can do that. Of course, you have to always check with your brand, the brand that you're representing, and see what the rules are about integrating and bringing, their products in with something that is more heart-based or more spiritual. But I would definitely, if you feel called to do it, definitely talk to your upline and see what they say. And also, if you want to talk to me about it and get my ideas, you're more than welcome to. All right. Okay, I got two more categories. So I'm going to be very quick. Personal growth and lifestyle. So let's say that you are a stay-at-home mom, all right? And a stay-at-home mom, you are in some kind of a job where you've got a little bit of, you're in a place, let's say that you're in a place where you want to shift your, what is it called? Pivot. You are doing something and it's not fulfilling for you. So you want to pivot into something else, right? If you have that calling for spirituality, if you have a calling to be of service, then I definitely recommend looking into, what would your spiritual business be? So, if you are someone who is interested in this, I would love for you in the comments to tell me kind of like, what do you think your spiritual business, what do you want for your spiritual business? Like, what do you want your spiritual business to be? For me, I knew what I wanted. And I did, I've done everything I've wanted to do in my spiritual business, except for the next level, which I'm still building up to. Like having my own retreat center is it's not the next step because I want to open a boutique here in Paris, for spirituality and coaching and healing. Um, so before I do my retreat center, I want that boutique here. Um, but what do you want? For me, it was really important that I was a massage therapist at the time. I very quickly shifted into energetic healing, but I wanted to teach astrology. I wanted to teach all kinds of esoteric stuff, and I did all that. I brought all that together. I do all that online now. And of course, I'm a coach and I'm a business mentor. So I help women start their businesses. Ah, it's so fulfilling, so rewarding, and I know you will love it. I know you're gonna love it because it is so precious. All right, so let me focus here. The last category is community and social impact. So this is for people who are maybe nonprofit, you're working in a nonprofit, or maybe you have your own nonprofit and you want to integrate or create some kind of a community healing environment. Creating a spiritual business can really help you do that and give you people love spiritual people love spiritual businesses. It is fantastic for us um because we love the aesthetics of it. We love the heart-centeredness of it. We love the opportunity that comes along with every time we walk into a spiritual practice, whether it's a meditation or, a tarot reading or an astrology class or a healing session, a massage, you know, there's just incredible connection and feeling of love. That's so important for us, right? So as a community leader, um, creating a spiritual business, that is based on helping people in your community find that place of connection, that place of healing, that place of love, so powerful. And it can complement anything that you do. It can complement anything that you do. All right. And let's see, Leanna says, okay, when I help people, it's life-changing and it feels so good in my heart. Spiritual business is fantastic. You're totally 100% right on that. People love it. Yeah, we do, man. We really, really do. And yes, you got the link, right? Yes, Leanna. And thank you, Rebecca. All right. So look, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and just remind you one more time to please sign up for spiritual life coach. No, no, nope, not spiritual life coach. It's spiritual business boot camp. All right. Go ahead, get yourself signed up, and I look forward to seeing you there. Um, all right. Bye for now. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.